Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Astonishing Ant Man issue 2. Before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 121, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show, and here are the exclusive comics. We got Robin Hood, Holiday Special issue, or just 2015, Tomboy issue 1 from Action Labs, Star Wars issue 12, Power Cubed issue 3, Vader Down issue 1, I Hate Fairyland issue 2, Fathom Blue issue 5, Invincible issue 125, Martian Manhunter issue 6, Batman and Robin Eternal issue 7, Star Wars Kanan issue 8, Savior issue 8, Star-Lord issue 1, 6 issue 1, Earth 2 Society issue 6, and The Beauty issue 4. So if you want to go check out all those reviews, go to Comic Uno episode 121, which is annotated. But let's start talking about Astonishing Ant Man issue 2. So there was no secret that I was not a big fan of issue 1 and Cassie's portrayal in issue 1 of Ant-Man, but I was still looking forward to seeing where the series goes, and especially now optimistic after seeing the February solicits that Ant-Man issue, whatever that issue is going to be, is going to concentrate on Cassie, and I'm happy with that. So I have a little bit more hope in that storyline, and like I said in the first issue, that could just be the first issue, and there could be more story to that. But let's start talking about issue 2. Issue 2, we get to see the return of Darla. Another thing a lot of people were kind of complaining about when the original Ant-Man volume came out with Nick Spencer, before All New, All Different, that Darla wasn't really shown. Scott had a pretty solid life. He had a girlfriend, he had a job, and, yes, his daughter was not alive, but then his life kind of started tumbling down again when Cassie returned. And now we're kind of digging into more of Darla and Scott's relationship, and that Darla is still around and how they broke up, or didn't break up. You'll see in the issue. But really love the cover, beautiful artwork, and I was really excited to read this. I read all of FF, I'm pretty sure. If I didn't, I think I might have skipped only a couple issues here and there, but I did read most of FF, and I thought Miss Thing was kind of a cool concept. I like Darla as a character, even though I feel like she didn't have enough time to shine. It's kind of cool to see that other writers are now utilizing her character, because I like the idea of her being a pop star / superhero. We haven't seen that since the Dazzler days, so, and then Dazzler doesn't even do that anymore, so it's kind of cool to see that concept come back. And to see how Darla uses her powers. I do like her ability, even though it's not really a power, it's more of a suit, but still. Let's start talking about the artwork. Still really enjoyed the artwork for the book. I like how grounded it is. Even how they utilized Darla's powers I thought was really cool. Over here with the ring, they have a close-up of that. Some really good spreads of showing the past throughout this whole issue. Here with Darla. I think there's a couple other pages that do that here also. So really enjoy the artwork. Again, I like the groundedness of the artwork. But let's start talking about the actual story. So in this issue, of course, we're still in the past, and we're trying to figure out how did Scott end up in jail again. That was the big cliffhanger of last issue, and I don't know how many more issues we're going to have to take for us to get to this point, but we are looking more towards the past. It's one of the post-Secret Wars books that actually, I guess technically didn't start 8 months later, because we're exploring the 8 months to see how Scott got to this point. In this issue, we see that Scott's still looking for a job, and he's trying to be a security guard for a singer, and he finds out it's actually Darla. And this issue is about dealing with their relationship, that we find out that Scott just kind of left without saying anything, without breaking up with her, and Darla's upset about it. But the big cliffhanger of the issue is that you think Darla's being nice, and she ends up giving a job to Scott, even though all the drama that happened, but we find out it's actually all for her TV show, that she did all this is to make the drama. It seemed like she wasn't really comfortable about it, but she had to make her money, so I thought that was kind of an interesting twist. Another story going on is with Scott's minions. They are possibly going to be working for Darren Cross. That was a small part of the story, which I'm sure is going to blow up in future issues. And the cliffhanger is that Nick Spencer is writing the Sam Wilson Captain America, so he's going to be in this issue. So Nick Spencer's two characters are crossing over, which might be fun. I'm personally not reading Captain America because I've never been a big Captain America fan, but it might be fun to see them team up in Ant-Man. So what I think about this issue, I thought this was a solid issue. I like this a little bit better than last issue. Maybe, again, I do feel a little bit better after the February solicits came out for Cassie. And I think this issue really did show that Scott is starting to think, oh wait, maybe I did do the wrong thing. And I feel they played with cliches really well here, where last issue I thought it fell into too many cliches. Here I actually thought they played with them. A good example is that they have this random villain and he gives his origin story, and Scott says, oh, why don't they do that anymore? It's because, you know, it takes up time, and Miss Thing punches the villain in the face. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so overall there's a couple of those type of moments throughout the issue where they play with superhero cliches, and I thought the humor was really well done for this issue. I definitely chuckled a lot throughout the book, and I feel like that's something Nick Spencer does really well. We saw that with Superior Foes of Spider-Man, and we're seeing it here also. And seeing the return of Darla, oh yeah, going back to it, I think Scott is starting to learn that it's not okay to take shortcuts, which has always been part of his personality, and it's not okay just to kind of leave people because he thinks they're going to be safe because of it. Maybe Scott thought breaking up with Darla would hurt her feelings, so he just didn't do it. Same for leaving Cassie. You know, he left Cassie because he thought that would keep her safe, without discussing it with her. So I think Scott needs to learn to talk to people, and I think that's a step that he gets to see in this issue, or at least we get to see in this issue. So again, it's a solid issue that I think closes up some loose ends with previous series that Scott has been in, like FF, and even Avengers World. I think we tie up a couple of things, but also continues the plot of how Scott ended up in jail. They either trust too many people, or people trust him a little bit too much. So there's definitely this idea of trust, and hopefully we'll see continue in the series. So Astonishing Ant Man, I thought was an improvement from the last issue, and it was really cool to see Darla back, and I guess we'll see her more in the series now that Scott's going to be working for her, and I think it'll be cool. Hopefully we get to see a bit of a nicer side of her, because right now she's stabbing Scott in the back a little bit. She did trick him, so we'll have to see where that arc goes. So Astonishing Ant Man issue 1 gets 4 stars. I thought it was a pretty solid issue. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.